Sarasate out here in Singapore, and you know what? You know the deal. I'm not going to tell you the same thing over and over again. This is the Night Owl Podcast, you guys. I'm so glad you're listening in. I'm so glad you're here with me. I want to talk to you about something that I had to discuss with Baby G for a second. We were doing her homework. We were going through Tamil homework actually, and I told her, look, if you don't like it so much, just do it all at one shot and get it out the way, and we'll go from there. Like that way you get it all finished and it doesn't hang over your head and you don't have to like drag your heels to do stuff. So we were in the midst of doing that and she was like, you know what? I don't like asking you for help sometimes. And I was like, huh? I mean, like, what? You don't like asking me for help? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm telling you, I do yell sometimes. I do lose my temper. We do fight about stuff sometimes. But the point is, I do love her and I want her to be the best that she could possibly be. And I do want to teach her whatever she needs to learn in order for her to be resilient on her own. But it did shock me a little bit, stopped me dead in my tracks when she said, no, I don't like asking you for help because I feel stupid next to you. And I said, yo, what do you mean? I don't make you feel stupid. She said, no, you've never said that, but I feel stupid. And I had to remind her, you know what? I get it. You don't feel as smart as I am, but you got to think about this. I have so many years more than you do. Walking this earth, talking, writing, studying, all of those things. I've done this for so many more years than you have. So it's to be expected that I know a little bit more than you. But that's why I can guide you. That's why I should be a really good teacher. Now, obviously, if I don't lose my temper, that'd be better. But that's the point, right? I should be better because I have a little more experience than you do. But still, she feels like she's stupid. She tells herself that she's dumb for not knowing these things. And I keep having to remind her. I keep having to ask her, hey, what are you telling yourself this means? What are you telling yourself about how you feel in this situation? You can feel bad. That's fine. But that doesn't mean you have to tell yourself you're stupid and that's why you should feel bad. Does that make sense? So we were having this conversation and she kept on, I don't want to ask you for this and I don't want to ask you for that. You're better at everything than I am. You can draw better than I can. I'm like, yeah, but how long have I been holding a pencil? How long have I been writing? How long have I been drawing? Years, decades. You haven't completed your first decade on earth yet and you're mad at me because I've completed a couple more than you? I tried to explain to her. And then suddenly she switched gears and she was like, you know what? I remember when I drew stick figures and I was like, yeah, okay, let's go with that. Let's start there. She was mad at me because I knew more than her, but I needed her to remember that, you know what? She's not where she used to be either. When she first started trying to draw, she did the same thing everyone else does. Stick figures. We draw a stick figure here. We kind of, adjust the way they walk and talk and which way they're facing. And then they get like a little bit of a body. Sometimes they have long legs. Sometimes they have stubby legs, whatever. We try, right? And it wasn't until one moment specifically that her drawing really started to evolve. And I'm going to tell you like this. There was once a day where we worked at Scholars Inc. Well, I worked at Scholars Inc. She came with me. I was lucky enough to bring her to school because that was a student tuition facility. So people would be left during their holidays, after school, to get tuition or basically to be babysat until the parents came to pick them up. So there was this one little girl in there that she was very, very quiet and timid, and she barely spoke to anyone. Her brother was a student at the school, but the mother would leave the brother and her together at the student care facility so that, somebody would watch them while she did, I don't know what. Anyway, this little girl was very, very quiet. And when she was bored, what she would do is she'd get up on the whiteboard in my classroom and she'd start drawing. Now, at the time, I think Kutiji was about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old, maybe 4 years old. And she was mad at herself because she saw this little girl's drawings. She was like, oh my God, she draws so much better than me. But I encouraged her. I said, why don't you go ask her how? How do you draw this? And so they did stroke by stroke how she drew. I think she started drawing ice cream cones, to be honest. And she was like, oh my God, this is easier than I thought. Now, there is a disconnect sometimes when you see what you are capable of doing and then you see all these professional images on, cartoons and media and social media and news and printed publications. Like, you're like, yo, I could never draw a cartoon comic. And then you get to see someone about your age who is able to break down how they do something to the point that you might be able to do it yourself. And suddenly that belief shoots through the roof and you suddenly feel like you could do so much more. And I needed to remind Kutiji that, you know what, yeah, you started off with stick figures. But eventually, because you saw someone your own age that was a lot like you, that was able to create something that you'd only dreamed of before, that you suddenly was inspired to be able to create the way that you wanted to. Suddenly that ceiling that you had created for yourself about what you can and can't do broke and you were able to push past what you thought you were capable of before. That's part of the reason I do all these podcasts. That's part of the reason I do all these live interviews. I need for people to realize, hey, all these majestic people that you think are celebrities that are so much better than you, you know, their social media is better than yours, their physical appearance is better than yours, the way they dress is better than whatever it is that you've got them on this high pedestal for. I need you to realize that they're just human, just like you. They came from simple backgrounds, just like you. I had a gentleman on the podcast, the interview today, and he says he's a 6th grade dropout. For Asia, in Singapore, that's a big deal. People are going to judge. But the point is, he was happy to admit, hey, you know what? I didn't get past a 6th grade education. But guess what? I'm a well-recognized actor on TV on both Channel 5 and Vasantham here in Singapore. He found a way to make it big. He found a way to learn a lot of different skill sets. He found a way to fall in love with his life. And if he can do it, obviously you can. I don't need people to look at the end result of someone's life and then be like, oh my God, how could I ever possibly get there? I need you to know about the steps they took along the way. So you feel like, you know, these people aren't so far-fetched. The stories aren't so far away that I can't reach them. I could be just like them. I just got to apply myself. I need you to find the common themes. And for baby girl to feel like she's stupid around me, I felt bad about that. But I needed her to realize as well that I'm here for a reason. I know a lot more for a reason, and she can get there too. I needed to remind her where she started from with her drawings to where she is right now, and remind her, yeah, okay, by looking at something I can draw fairly well, but guess what? I'm almost 40 years old. Your drawings are just as good as mine. You're only 9. So you need to give yourself credit where credit is due. You need to believe in yourself, and sometimes you need to know someone's story who looks like you, talks like you, walks like you, is about your same age, and can prove to you that if they could do it, you could do it. Yes, sometimes it comes with natural talent, but guess what? Talent won't get you very far unless you put work behind it too. So for those of you out there who are feeling kind of down, sometimes you're around people that make you feel dumb, realize this. You feel not so educated or not so smart around them because they seem to be smarter than you. They know more than you do. But where does that come from? That comes from grit and grime. That comes from blood, sweat, and tears. That comes from some elbow grease. They've been through some things that you haven't yet. And guess what? They're in a position to share those things without you having to go through them too. Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you are. Not to make yourself feel dumb by any means, but so that you can ask them questions when you need help. You don't want to ask questions of people who don't know what you're talking about. You don't want to ask questions of people who have never experienced the things that you're going through. You should never ask a coffee shop owner how to be a millionaire unless they are a millionaire. Because otherwise, how are they going to be able to let you know how to get to where they are? Don't get disheartened. Stay the course. Keep your chin up. Be very careful of what you tell yourself about how you feel in situations. But more importantly, you're not any less smart than anyone else. All you need is a little more information. And that's all. I hope this helped you guys. I love you all, and I'll catch you again soon.